Motherfucking C. Amplified.
So I'm pretty sure that if you're a female competitor and you work for WWE and you show up to work and your creative staff tells you that later that night you're going to tap out Charlotte Flair, I'm pretty sure you're going to be riding an incredible high the entire day. And later that night when you actually tap out Charlotte Flair, that high is going to be elevated times 100. Because that's what happened last night. Because make no mistake about it, SmackDown for Tuesday, June 5th, 2018 belonged to Becky Lynch, of all people. And we're going to get to that in just a couple of minutes, guys, because that is huge for Becky fucking Lynch. But before we get to that, let's just go over the rest of SmackDown last night as we continue the build toward Money in the fucking Bank. Now, Money in the Bank for me, I always loved Money in the Bank, but this one just has some high-octane fucking matches, man. I'm pumped for this Money in the Bank. The two main event ladder matches, first of all, obviously going to be show stealers, but if you look at the other matches, I mean, Money in the Bank, you think about the ladder matches, understandably so. But then you have two mega women's matches, Asuka and Carmella. Is Asuka finally going to capture that championship? Would they do that at Money in the Bank? Would they hold off towards SummerSlam? The questions have already arisen, right? Is Asuka going to finally capture that strap? Over on the Raw side, Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Are they going to give Ronda Rousey that strap next Sunday, Money in the Bank? Or does Natalya screw Ronda somehow? Questions arise, man. But the fact that these mega matches have been made, not necessarily competition-wise, obviously Carmella versus Asuka, you would assume Asuka would destroy Carmella, but with WWE's booking, it's going to go every which way. But it's the outcomes that really capture my curiosity. Because if you think about it, we think Natalya will screw Ronda out of the match, out of the championship. We think there'll be some shenanigans where Carmella will squeak by with her championship. But the fact that these matches are legit and made and in the book for next Sunday, there is a chance Asuka and Ronda Rousey walk out of Chicago as champions of this very world. On top of that, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing. That's fucking badass in its own right. So there's a lot of side matches. Seth Rollins and Elias. Don't sleep on that, because that could steal the show. You never know, man. The way Seth Rollins has been performing, the way we know Elias can perform, Money in the Bank, man, the card itself, pretty fucking stacked. Do they live up to those expectations that I now have? Because you guys know I don't like to put expectations on pay-per-views because WWE will let you down if you do such. But every once in a while comes along a card that's pretty fucking magnificent. This is one of them. For me, anyway. Everyone's got their own feelings about it. For me, pumped for next Sunday. Chicago's going to be a hot live crowd. I'm just fucking pumped for it. So no matter what they really dish to us Mondays and Tuesdays leading up to it, I know that the card, I really feel in my heart of hearts, the performers are going to outperform or try to outperform each other in one another. And I think we're looking at a dynamite fucking pay-per-view show. But we'll see, man. But the build continued last night with some old school shit. And I'm talking about Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and a contract signing. But not just in the middle of the fucking ring where we think a table's gonna be flipped over or some shit, some shenanigans. No, this was backstage. In like a conference room, they want you to think, right? And I say it's old school because for those of you much younger fans who are watching this video and watching WWE today, back in the day, we had a president of WWE. His name was Jack Tunney. And he would oversee all the day-to-day activities, supposedly, on TV, right? He was an on-air president. And Jack Tunney would oversee contract signings. They were never done in the ring, guys. They were done backstage, and it gave a more intimate feel. It gave a more vibrant aspect to what we're viewing. The animosity. It brought out a sense of, I have to now see this match. That friction is magnified tenfold when you see it backstage. It just becomes much more intimate. They used to do it with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. All these contract signings I remember back in the day, back in those conference rooms with Jack Tunney and all the officials around. It made it very real. All we were missing was the press. Right? Sending TMZ and fucking Good Morning America and fucking ESPN. Get the flash photographers. I liked it. It was old school. Dean Malenko was sitting right next to AJ Styles. Other suits and ties near Nakamura. And Paige was overseeing this. Paige was acting as the Jack Tunney of today. As general manager of SmackDown. And I loved it, guys. And they each gave their little, I know, it was AJ Styles that gave a little promo to Shinsuke. And AJ Styles signs the contract, sends it over to Shinsuke. And Shinsuke takes his pen and says it's out of ink. And Paige goes, that's all right, let me see. Or goes to give him a new one. And he takes the pen and he just chucks it. So Paige is like, okay. So Shinsuke says, can I use your pen? To AJ Styles. AJ's like, fuck it, here. Just sign the motherfucker. AJ Styles gives Shinsuke the pen, and Shinsuke doesn't even try to use it. He just says, it's broken. Chucks it. This pisses off AJ Styles because Shinsuke's doing everything now not to sign this fucking contract. So Styles is doing exactly what Nakamura wanted him to do. Get over emotional. Let his emotions get the best of him. Styles starts flipping out. He actually smacks Shinsuke right in the mouth. And it was a devastating smack because Shinsuke was turning that way. Usually you'll see the superstar dead straight. So when the smack comes, he can just jolt that way. Or he's already in motion when he's getting the smack. No, Nakamura was actually going in the direction of the smack. So that was a pretty vicious fucking smack by AJ Styles to Shinsuke. So Shinsuke took it right on the chin. And Styles is still flipping out. Malenko and other suits and ties are trying to get Styles out of the room successfully. And this leaves just Paige and Nakamura. And Nakamura has a smile on his face because he knows he succeeded in what he was trying to do. Get AJ Styles over emotional. And he's hoping that he stays that way all the way till next Sunday. And if Shinsuke has anything to do about it or say about it, he's going to make sure AJ Styles is over emotional heading into and during that match. So story-wise, this makes perfect sense. This goes along with everything Nakamura has been saying for the past 2 months about AJ Styles. You're over emotional. That's the difference between I and you. That's what's ultimately going to gain me that championship. And last night at the contract signing, that's exactly what Nakamura proved again. Nakamura was all chill at the table, playing mind games with Styles. Styles is the one that flipped out, smacked Shinsuke, and got carried out of that conference room, supposedly. So, Nakamura wins. And Nakamura, with that grin on his face, opens up his suit jacket and takes out a fresh pen. With a smile on his face, he signs the contract. He gets up, he looks at Paige, and he just says, last man standing. He walks off, and that's the contract signing. Nothing too lengthy, nothing overbooked, simplistic if you think about it, to the point. But so fucking effective if you think about the story that they're trying to tell. And again, the old school Jack Tunney-esque contract signing. I fucking loved it, man. So a really good segment between the two. I'm pumped to see this last man standing match at Money in the Bank. If you want to talk old school, they also did something else old school like they used to do back in the day, back in those 80s. Back on Superstars of Wrestling was the television show back in the day. We didn't have Monday Night Raw like we did like we do today, guys. Back then, it was Superstars. You caught it at 11 a.m. here on the Eastern Coast, around New York City, or you caught it at 12 noon. But it was never Monday Night Raw back in the day in those 80s. And it was Superstars Wrestling. And when you did interviews back in the day, guys, they were not done in the ring. Every interview was done on a separate podium down by the entranceway. And that's what they did last night. And that's where Mean Gene Okerlund would used to have, and Sean Mooney, they would used to conduct their interviews. And that's where all the fun used to happen. Right? You would have Hulk Hogan over there doing an interview, and out comes The Undertaker, or out comes Ric Flair. Or Ultimate Warrior is cutting an interview, and Randy Savage attacks him out of nowhere up at the podium. It brought a different aspect to what we were viewing. It wasn't all just mundane and just in the ring, because that can become redundant and boring. Let's get the action elsewhere. In the podium during the interviews, that was a big catch for friction and animosity and collisions. And last night, we didn't see any of the collisions or the friction, but we got to see an interview at the fucking podium by the rampway. I haven't seen that in years and years, guys. So good to see that. This one was with Big Cass. Big Cass hit all his points perfectly. The problem is, Big Cass, it can get too lengthy. And Big Cass has to know his points, where to take a pause, where to play to the crowd. It's these type of things, changing your tone. These are the things that Big Cass has to still learn. Because it sounds like one long, just run-on sentence with Big Cass. And that can become annoying, redundant, and just plain bad to a lot of the audience. Now again, knowing the bullet points he was trying to hit, he did it flawlessly. He did it good. He hit every point he needed to make. But learn when to take those pauses. Learn when to play to the crowd. Don't make it one long run-on sentence. Change up your tones. Learn where to look and just captivate the audience around you, not just people at home. If you do those little things, the promo is going to come alive in a much bigger way than you even thought possible. You know, you run it through your head backstage, you hope to just get all your bullet points out, and you do that, and you get backstage, and you fucking want to, wipe your brows and say, I did it, right? I did it. I got all my bullet points. Yeah, but if the promo sucked, then it doesn't matter if you hit your bullet points. So I like Big Cass. I think Big Cass on the mic can be something really great in the future. He has to keep working on it. But he's great at remembering what the fuck he needs to say. It just can be redundant and annoying if it's one run-on sentence. And how many times can you call Daniel Bryan little in so many ways? Relax, dude. We get it. I know that's the story we're trying to portray here. Big guy, little guy. And they're telling Big Cass, really nail home the fact that you're a really big guy. Really nail home the fact that he's a really small guy. But a little bit too much. It's almost as redundant and annoying as Michael Cole yelling, Big Dog! Big Dog! Big Dog! Big Dog! It's the Big Dog! For Roman Reigns. A little too much. But it was so cool to see the side podium up at the entranceway because, again, when you're an old school wrestling fan like I am, the contract signing they did last night backstage, the podium up at the entranceway, this was a little bit of Superstars of wrestling, man. Now all I was missing was superstars taking on jobbers. Because I'm okay with that. A couple of times during Raw and a couple of times during SmackDown, I say we take 4 or 5 minutes and give a couple of superstars some squash matches with jobbers. They can still be fun, and it's going to up the ante in the superstar quality and power of the superstar you're trying to make. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Jobber matches are crucial. It's what helped make superstars back in the day, and it's what we're lacking today. I'm not going to make anybody wait any longer. Let's just talk about Becky Lynch now, right? The real highlight of this video, because it was the highlight of SmackDown. It's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. This is where Vince McMahon is trying to utilize everybody that's going to be on next Sunday's show, just parade them out there. This is what he does. So I'm thinking, okay, he just wants people to know that Becky Lynch is in there. No way she's really going to beat Charlotte. And if she does, it's going to be some weird fluky deal, right? But I didn't even think they were going to go that route. Charlotte, obviously, starting the year off as champion. She defeats the undefeated Asuka at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch has been in obscurity this whole past year. Becky Lynch really going to beat Charlotte? Absolutely not, right? So I'm pretty sure we were all kind of shocked to see, I know I was, to see not just Becky Lynch defeat Charlotte, but tap out Charlotte, guys, with the disarmer. Blown away, man. Not too many things blow me away or shock me, but this one did. It really did, man. Just knowing how much they try to protect Charlotte, to have her tap out, man. I don't know. I don't think it harms Charlotte too much long term. But if you do shit like that often, that will absolutely disarm her reputation and everything that they're trying to build for Charlotte, I assure you. You cannot have her just tapping out on random SmackDowns. You know what I mean? If you're going to have her do that, then get the ultimate payoff at a pay-per-view. But on SmackDown? Or maybe that's the thing. Maybe they did it on a SmackDown so maybe people will forget, right? Oh, that was on a SmackDown. It doesn't count because it wasn't a big pay-per-view. Or SmackDown, so it'll be forgotten. But if you're a fan like me, I don't forget that shit too easily, man. I'll always remember that actually now because, again, not too many things really shock me in pro wrestling. So that was one of them. So I'm absolutely going to remember that. So for Charlotte, I think it's no harm, no foul as long as there's a huge rebound. Knowing Vince McMahon and how much he loves Charlotte Flair, I'm guessing there's going to be a huge rebound. So Charlotte should be okay. But this is huge for Becky Lynch. This victory, and I don't want to say it's going to alter or change her course in her career. I don't want to say that, guys. Because this ultimately probably means Becky Lynch is not going to win that briefcase Sunday. Most likely. Unless Vince just changed his mind, saw what he created last night, saw the tap out that he approved and said, you know what, let's ride this fucking wave. I'm changing my mind. And Becky Lynch wins next Sunday. Possible, but usually when these superstars get defeated in the weeks leading up to the pay-per-view, that usually means the other guy is going to win, or the other woman is going to win at the pay-per-view. Hopefully you guys are keeping track. So in other words, for instance, Elias just defeated Seth Rollins Monday, 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. That leads you to believe Seth Rollins is going to retain his championship at Money in the Bank. Again, we've seen these things before and it happened vice versa, so it's not 100%. But I think Becky Lynch tapping out Charlotte is probably most likely anyway going to mean Becky Lynch is not going to capture that briefcase Sunday, and this was kind of like throwing her a bone. This was showing everybody that truly anybody who is involved in these Money in the Bank matches can actually win. I think that's all this was, because Becky Lynch, again, was in obscurity this whole year. Her booking was non-existent. And then all of a sudden, she's tapping out Charlotte. I think this is Vince and Creative's way to say, hey, we know we fucked up. We put Becky in obscurity this year, but she's in the match, and anybody can win this motherfucker. I think that's all this was. But it doesn't fucking matter. Because on national fucking television, SmackDown Live, Becky Lynch tapped out Charlotte Flair. SmackDown at that moment in time for June 5th, 2018 belonged to Becky Lynch. Nothing that happened afterwards was going to change that. That belonged to Becky Lynch. And here we are the next morning, and I stand by that, man. Becky Lynch owned that night. A huge, monumental victory. Because whether she captures Money in the Bank next Sunday or not, which again, I totally don't believe is going to happen, WWE cannot let this go. They have to ride that wave a little bit. You had her tap out your real princess, Charlotte. Ride that wave, man. Last time Becky Lynch held that championship, I felt that it was rather stale. I don't think that was a solid run for her. I hope that there's more there, and I'm willing to give that another chance because Becky Lynch is a solid wrestler. I'm not saying she's going to get the strap anytime soon, but let's ride that wave. Same thing I've been saying with Naomi, and at least they got her in something cool with her husband now, Jimmy. And I think she's really working well with the Usos. Normally I wouldn't say, like, yeah, mix them up with the men, because that's really putting them in obscurity. But with Naomi, it's actually working. And I like what she's doing with the Usos. So as long as you can keep getting creative and coming up with creative mixed ways to mix her in up with the Usos and having her compete alongside them, then that's pretty cool. But Becky Lynch, I think it's now or never. The last year and a half she was in obscurity, you can't go another fucking year of that or Becky Lynch is done. That was huge for her. Again, I don't expect her to capture the Money in the Bank briefcase next Sunday, but I do expect to see a lot of great things going forward from her. And if I'm Becky Lynch, I'm carrying the momentum from last night's huge tap-out victory over Charlotte into next Sunday, and I'm going to give the performance of a fucking lifetime. A ladder match, I am going to be taking risks and chances of a lifetime. I'm going to make sure that every motherfucker in that arena, every motherfucker watching at home on the network, knows my name, Becky motherfucking Lynch. And if they didn't like me before, you do now. And if you still hate me, you're gonna damn well at least respect me. Because I've earned it on that night in Chicago at Money in the Bank. If I'm Becky Lynch, I'm taking my own destiny, my own career in my own hands. WWE allowed me that tap-out victory over Charlotte last night. Next Sunday, watch what I do in that ring. Watch how I fly on those ladders. But that's just me. Because that's a wave of momentum Becky Lynch cannot slip through her fingers. That was huge, guys. A tap out on fucking Charlotte. Charlotte Flair, who just defeated the undefeated Asuka at WrestleMania. Tapped out Asuka. Is tapping out to a woman who, again, I can't use this word enough, was in obscurity this whole year. We don't even know how or why she was booked the way she was. She was non-existent. And she's tapping out Charlotte. Fucking huge. Again, I know what this was about. This was most likely just to show you that anybody can win that Money in the Bank briefcase and that she probably won't win next Sunday. But that doesn't mean she can't go out there and have the performance of a lifetime and steal the show in her own way. If nothing else, steal the attention in the minds of everybody watching. And when everyone leaves, Becky Lynch was one of the fucking top spots in your memory of that night. I know, you're thinking, really, BC? Becky fucking Lynch? That's going to be one of our memories walking out of Money in the Bank? If that's the case, then that must have been a shitty show. I hear you. Trust me, I'm not a huge Becky Lynch fan. I'm just telling you guys, if I'm Becky Lynch, this is what I'm doing. If I'm Becky Lynch, it's now or never. Because most people are going to be saying, really, Becky Lynch is going to be a highlight of a pay-per-view? I highly doubt it, and if so, that's a shitty pay-per-view. Because a lot of people are probably saying that, if I'm Becky Lynch, I'm going to go out there and try to prove wrong. I'm going to do some risky, chancy shit. Safely, or as safe as I can, but I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to attempt to steal that fucking match. Or at least try. Huge victory for Becky Lynch. And for Becky Lynch fans out there, congratulations, man. What a fucking victory, dude. Blew me the fuck away. Again, not too many things shocked me. That fucking shocked me. Also, guys, I want to talk about the main event, which was Rusev, Samoa Joe, and The Miz versus The New Day. And at the end, as we kind of thought this was going to happen, Rusev and Samoa Joe kind of turn on Miz because Miz, doused them with a bunch of fucking, not just a bunch, a fucking tray full of pancakes. So this pissed off Joe and Rusev. They jump Miz. Miz is flat on his back. Rusev and Samoa Joe end up leaving the ring, so they're no longer in this match, if you think about it, because it was just Miz left there with all three members of New Day. And you had the Midnight Hour, and you had Big E get the win over The Miz. So Big E captures the victory over The Miz. The New Day get the win amongst an explosion of pancakes. It looked like a pancake factory just exploded. I mean, pancakes all over the ring as Big E defeats The Miz. And the New Day is celebrating as SmackDown goes off the air. So this was basically Vince really is trying to drive home the fact that we don't know which member of the New Day is going to be in Money in the Bank. But no matter which one, it's going to be Dynamite because obviously they're a group of winners. That's what Vince McMahon wanted in your mind as SmackDown went off the air. Because it was the New Day celebrating a victory in the main event. So Vince wants you to think, hey, who's it going to be, right? I mean, I think we could have ended SmackDown a little bit better. Okay, a lot better. But again, the match was really decent. For sure. New Day. I mean, when you get past the when you get past the circus and all the pancakes, you know, the New Day puts on fucking decent matches. So I wasn't really concerned with that. Miz has been putting on good matches. Samoa Joe is fucking Samoa Joe, and Rusev is fucking decent in that ring as well. So you put them all together, and we kind of knew it was going to be a decent match. Nothing great, nothing that really captivated me, but decent in its own right. And again, we could have ended it a lot better, but it was cool, man. New Day celebrates the victory, and I don't know who would be in the Money in the Bank ladder match next Sunday, because either one of them would be good, man. Xavier would try to steal the show. Kofi probably will steal the show. And Big E's Dynamite in those ladder matches. So he'd be that brute force in those ladder matches, which is actually needed as well. You want the high flyers in ladder matches, but you also want those brutes that can take the beating with those ladders. Big E cannot just fly off those ladders, but he can take the beating, so he can do both. Either one of them I'll take. I do want to touch up on a couple of other things too. That was the main bulk of the show. We also had a mixed tag match with Lana and Aiden English versus Jimmy Uso and Naomi, as I aforementioned. I like what Naomi's doing with the Usos. They had a cool mixed match match. I almost said mixed match challenge first. That's finished. But they had a mixed match with Naomi and Jimmy. And again, I think there's just so much chemistry there. Obviously, they're husband and wife. Husband and wife. I can speak now, man. I need some water, some fucking coffee. I'm getting back in my groove, guys, man. I know it's been so long. My first video yesterday. I think I did pretty decent yesterday for my first video, though. Now I'm starting to stutter on my second video. But Naomi, Jimmy Uso, obviously working good. They actually picked up the victory over Lana and Aiden English as well. Who was it, man? What the fuck do my notes say, too? Who won that? Naomi flies, picks up with Jimmy Uso. Top right, suicide dive. I forgot who the fuck won, man. I didn't even put it in the fucking notes. So, I believe Naomi and Aiden. Wow, dude, I apologize. I'm fucking going off the deep now. Naomi and Jimmy Uso, I do believe, picked up that fucking victory. There's no I believe. They did. Now I remember. Wow. My memory came back to me, man. No notes, no nothing. It was, I believe, just a super kick from Jimmy Uso to Aiden English, because I clearly remember after the match, Corey Graves telling the back to bring out some herbal tea because Aiden English got kicked in his moneymaker. So that was good. Naomi, man, almost took a nasty fall, guys. She did a suicide dive over the top rope, and it looked like she was just going head first. And Aiden English deserves so much fucking credit here. He took one for the team, man. He put himself in perfect position, and he saw the way Naomi was coming at him, and he literally just bear hugged her. Perfect by Aiden English. That is textbook how you fucking save your fellow competitor. How you protect your fellow wrestler, Aiden English, an A+ for the day, my son. Awesome fucking job, Aiden English. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch, man. Aiden English did a perfect save. And honestly, saved Naomi. Because who knows what would have happened, man. I cringe to even think. If Aiden English didn't wrap her up like he did, that was looking scary as fuck. So Aiden English catching Naomi, man. Big props to Aiden for catching one of my gals. All right? So, we owe Aiden English, man. Operation Save Naomi was in effect, and we saved her. But another good performance. Naomi was just flying all over the place. That's another woman who goes out there and gives 110% every fucking time. Her and Sasha Banks, man, they just don't know the fucking brake pedal. They're just going to go out there. They might get injured. They've been injured before. And then they come back and they still are at it, man. That's not stupidity. That's heart. That's knowing how you want to be remembered. But that's knowing who and what you love. And going out there and doing it every day, man. They don't have a second fucking notch because they wouldn't want to perform that way. Or else they probably would want to stop doing it. They love this. They want to go out there and do what they're capable of doing every fucking night. They're not going to take a night off. They're not going to take it 10 steps back because maybe their ankle's a little sore. Their arm is hurting them. No, they're going to go out there and they're going to give that crowd in attendance and the viewers at home a run for their fucking money and their money's worth. Love that by Naomi. But damn, that was a scary fucking dive over that top rope. Thank goodness Aiden English had to save there. Another tag match. No, it wasn't a tag match. Just two tag teams, but it was a singles match. That was Carl Anderson versus Luke Harper. Anderson from Gallows and Anderson, obviously, and Harper from the Bludgeon Brothers. Huge upset victory. Not as big as Becky Lynch tapping out Charlotte, but Carl Anderson getting a victory over Harper. Pretty quick fashion, too. Less than 5 minutes this match. And this pissed off the Bludgeon Brothers, though. So at Money in the Bank, you're going to see Anderson and Gallows taking on the Bludgeon Brothers. I do not expect, as much as I love Anderson and Gallows, I don't expect them to capture tag straps at Money in the Bank. In fact, this just pissed off the Bludgeon Brothers. So if I'm Anderson and Gallows, come up with a different strategy because they're coming to put those mallets through your fucking skulls. So that also happened last night. I think I captured most everything, right, guys? Carmella had a promo. This started SmackDown. Carmella did a promo just fucking harping on Asuka to the point where Asuka finally had enough. Asuka comes out. Before Asuka can say anything, here comes Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Mandy and Sonya start talking about how we both want a match against you, Asuka. So Carmella's like, Asuka, who you gonna choose for tonight's opponent? Mandy or Sonya? This brings out Paige, and this doesn't make sense. Paige says, when are you going to understand, all of you? I make the matches around here, not you. So Asuka, who is it gonna be? Fucking Sonya or Mandy? And I'm like, wait, you just came out here to say, no, this isn't happening because I make the matches. But then you're reiterating exactly what Sonya, Carmella, and Mandy just said. Who's it gonna be? So that was absolutely fucking brainstormingly stupid. But in the end, Asuka grabs the mic from Carmella and says, I want them both. And Asuka takes care of her trash, right? She takes care of both of them, man. Her fucking excess weight. Mandy Rose taken care of. Sonya Deville tapping out. And Carmella's left there fucking waiting for the perfect opportunity to slip through the ring and attack fucking Asuka. And when it was all said and done, Carmella was standing tall with her strap high. Indicating that this is going to be the same result next Sunday. But Asuka is probably going to be singing a different tune, man. Can I just say, Mandy Rose, looking good, man. She's looking good. I'm not just saying, like, sexually fucking, like, whoa, which sexually she is like, whoa. I think any guy can pretty much say that. But looking good as far as getting better. And I like seeing those improvements. It was the same improvements I started to see with, like, Alexa Bliss. I started seeing with Carmella in the ring. And I think those are the improvements. Dana Brooke started showing improvements before they put her with Titus Worldwide, which again, I'm glad they did. I think they work well together. I think just there has to be more creativity behind Titus Worldwide. But it's good to see these females getting better, not just resting on their laurels. Oh, I made it to WWE. I'm a pretty face. I'm sexy as fuck. I can rest on that. No, Mandy is getting better. That's really good to see, man. Sonya's got a little bit more ways to go, but it's good to see. They're still both far away from any title shots, actual title shots, and actual title reigns, obviously. But they're getting better. But man, Mandy Rose has a fucking look to her, dude. wow. Just sometimes it's like just blown away, dude. That's really fucking nuts. I think I'm gonna stop there, guys. I think I got almost everything anyway. If I didn't get shit, I apologize. But that was most of SmackDown, guys. Decent show. Obviously, nothing over the top, nothing great, I don't feel. Shocking as fuck, that Becky Lynch segment, tapping out Charlotte. But nothing bad, and that was really fucking cool to see, man. So, we're riding a little higher wave than we've been the last month or two. All right, let's keep this going into Money in the Bank. Let's hope Raw comes out full throttle, kicking ass. By Monday Night Raw, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You have 6 days to go, man. Why couldn't I have done that math anyway? Monday to Sunday would be 6 days. I need to double fist some coffees today, man. I actually had to count fucking days, man. Monday to Sunday, BC. So anyway, guys, 6 days from Monday Night Raw. They got to come out swinging, man. Money in the Bank. This is a huge pay-per-view for the company. It's looking to be a kick-ass Dynamite pay-per-view. Let's ride some momentum going into it. Let's not rest on those laurels. Oh, we got a big pay-per-view. People are going to buy the network anyway. People are already selling out Chicago. Let's not rest on that. Let's give the fans in attendance and people watching at home, including myself, let's give us a show. Let's get us more intrigued and invested into Money in the Bank. And SmackDown needs to ride that same exact wave that Raw needs to ride for next week. That's it, guys. Till next time, you don't forget me, I won't forget you. The Amplified Man's checking the fuck out. So long, my friends. Till tomorrow, we will have Amplified Q&A. I cannot wait. It's been a month and a half since I did an Amplified Q&A, right? Better part of 2 months. So Amplified Q&A, any questions you guys got for the Amplified Man, make sure you jot them down either on social media, over on Twitter, or right down below, man. And hopefully I can't get to all of them, but hopefully I'll get to most. And Friday, I will definitely have, I'm going to have something on CM Punk, actually, man. The truth about what CM Punk's fight in the UFC this Saturday, what it really fucking means for UFC, for CM Punk, for everyone involved. So, a couple more videos coming out later in the week, guys. Let's double fist some coffees today, because clearly I fucking need to. I'm going to have about 10 fucking mega coffees, amplified size. And we're going to kick a lot of ass, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. For now, check you.